Hi, it's Akemi. This is the Akemi Kai Inner Beauty, where we improve what's going on out there by coming in here. I was thinking that I wanted to do a little bit on emotions and difficult days and things like that, and just like talk you through it so I can show you how to get out of those spaces and into a better space. So let's just work with some of them live. Like, let me just show you how I do it, and you can use this when you feel off. Okay, so let's say something just happened, or you woke up in a bad mood, or something happened that made you kind of triggered or off. So you're experiencing some less than ideal moods. Let's just say you're not feeling like in your best place today. So you could feel angry or sad, like a little bit heartbroken, or just muddled. Maybe you just don't feel like very steady in your mind. So let me talk you through how to work with those and get back to the place that you want to be in for your best manifesting. Okay, so first of all, if I'm angry, if I feel anger is really hot, right? It's like, whoa, it's like a fire, like somebody just lit the pilot lamp. You know when you go camping, or do you have one of those hot water tanks outside your apartment where it has a pilot light, and if the pilot light goes out, you have to light it again? Have you seen what I'm talking about on like a hot water heater, or maybe on a furnace or something? It goes, right? That's kind of what anger feels like in our body, right? Somebody says something happens, someone cuts you off in traffic, something happens when you're out in public by a stranger or somebody that you care about. Your guard is down, and then they suddenly say something to you that gets right through your armor because you were just chilling in your vibe with no like bad intentions, and somebody said something and it really hurt you, and you're just like, anger. Yeah. So how I deal with anger when it happens, it's very human, okay? It's very human. You can't stop it from happening. It doesn't matter how skilled you get at meditating or how great a meditator you are, you're not going to stop getting triggered or stop feeling angry ever. Just like get better at working with it. So first thing that I do is I notice I'm angry. Okay, the first thing is always just notice there's a feeling here. What's the feeling? I'm angry. Okay. So you're not angry. You're you. And you're experiencing anger right now. So that's the first distance, right? It's not who you are. It's just like flooding your system in this moment. So first thing is, okay, this isn't who I am. It's just something that's happening right now. It's not always going to be there. It's just here really intensely this moment. Okay, that's my first little breath. I can kind of get a little bit of space there. Second thing is, anger is like, what do they say? It's like a secondary emotion, right? It's always masking hurt. Okay, so notice I'm feeling really freaking angry right now. Okay, so notice it. Okay, it's hot. It feels like this in my body. It's really intense. I feel like my head is pounding. I feel overheated. I'm like, take some space, take a breath, get by yourself. That's always remove yourself from whatever is triggering you. Get a little bit of space. Get some space from the emotion by noticing what it is. And then check in with yourself. Okay, I can feel that I'm angry. So underneath that, you're going to notice like, my feelings got hurt, or I felt disrespected. Okay. If you're a man, it's probably going to be, I felt disrespected. If you're a woman, it's probably going to be, my feelings feel hurt, right? Because we experience things a little differently. Just check in with yourself and find out what it is. Okay, so go under the anger and find the disrespect or the hurt. Disempowered, something got to you. Okay. Now, there's a feeling in there that you can work with, because anger is very difficult to work with. It's just like this, fire, right? But the feeling or the disrespect is much easier to work with. So get to the thing that's underneath. Okay, I felt hurt, like my feelings feel hurt. Okay, I'm feeling a bit hurt. Okay, that's a vulnerable kind of feeling, so you can work with that, right? Okay, so I feel hurt. Okay, my feelings got hurt. Odds are, whoever just pissed you off didn't set out to do it on purpose, okay? I mean, maybe, but usually no. Like most of the time, whoever cut you off in traffic or did something to you in public was just absent-minded and not paying any attention to you, right? Or the person that you love, that you live with, they didn't get up this morning and decide to hurt you, right? They're not going through their day plotting how they can hurt you, right? They're just, most of the time, we're hurt by other people or we're disrespected by other people out of their own lack of conscious awareness in the moment. Like they're doing something for themselves, or they're scattered, or they're rushing, or whatever. And we get stepped on in the process, right? So I'm not saying that your feeling isn't legitimate. It's legitimate. I'm just also getting a little bit of space by realizing it wasn't intentional, right? This person probably didn't do this on purpose. If they did do it on purpose, then you're going to track back a little bit and see what you just did to them before that, that's making them feel defensive, that made them act like that toward you. Okay? So that's where the accountability comes in, where you're like, okay, did they just hurt me or say something to me or disrespect me because I just was the one who was absent-minded and not paying attention and inadvertently did something to them and they're reacting to me and now I'm hurt? Okay, so we're just kind of like getting some space. We're creating some space, okay? We're creating some distance from the feeling and some space, and it's giving us some room to breathe. And we're starting to see that, our interactions with other people are alive and dynamic, and that we also can be involved. Like we might not be just the victim of everything going on around us all the time, right? There could be something we did or said. So if I do think about it and I think, oh yeah, well maybe that thing I just said, or maybe that thing I just did, maybe that hurt that person or made them feel disrespected, then the easiest way to kind of de-escalate and get back into a state of harmony is to go to that person and apologize. Just be the first to apologize. Be like, hey, I'm sorry that I said that thing, or I did this thing, or that was out of line, or that was disrespectful what I just said or did or whatever. Like, sorry that I, did that. Okay. And if you don't have anything to apologize for, that's cool. If it's not like a rebound kind of thing, that's fine. Maybe you did just get hurt or disrespected by somebody who said or did something to you, and you weren't the one who did it first, or you didn't start it. Okay. Maybe if it's a long-term relationship with this person, maybe it's been going on for a really long time. So you've got a dynamic kind of entrenched with somebody where you're always hurting each other and you're always disrespecting each other, in which case it's going to take you some time to break down that dynamic, and it's your choice. You can start going first to start breaking that dynamic down, right? If you want to do that kind of work, I highly recommend this book that I've recommended on this channel before. It's by this amazing woman named Laura Doyle. Now, her books and her podcasts and everything, they're for like married couples, and it's just for women. It's not for men. And it's all about wives, how to like improve their marriages by doing this kind of accountability work. However, that might not be your situation, right? So you can get her book and then just adapt it to your life. Like, you don't have to be a wife to read her book, right? You don't have to be married to do the work that she sets out in her book, you can adapt it to your own life and use it in your own life, in your own relationships, in all your relationships, okay? So that's where a lot of my technique is coming from, because I've been studying her stuff for quite a few years. And I kind of mix this up with my Buddhist practices, okay? So meditation practice, where you're just practicing getting distance by naming stuff and identifying it and getting some space between you and the stuff that's going on, right? So as I'm just talking you through this, I'm hoping that it's de-escalating already for you, right? Is that you're getting space from the intensity of emotion when it flares up, because that's really what it is. It's like somebody throwing a match on some alcohol that's spilled on the floor, and it just goes pfft. That's what it's like when emotion comes up for us. So it can be hard to work with, right? So all we're doing is techniques for how to work with it and de-escalate and get some space, okay? And then we can't control other people, okay? The only thing we can control is ourselves. So ultimately, with accountability, we're just always coming back to ourselves, because it's the only thing we can control. We can't control how other people react to us. But that doesn't mean we go around in the world acting like a jerk and being like, well, it's their problem how they're taking me. That's not how to conduct ourselves in life, right? Always work on keeping your area clear. So checking in with yourself and asking, like, did I do or say something that could have been disrespectful or hurtful to somebody else? And can I, like, own that and maybe apologize for that, which might clear the air? And then that person might apologize back to you for what they did, or they might not, you know. You don't know who you're working with, but you'll feel better because you've cleared your space, right? And you can decide if you want to keep interacting with people who, you know, like if somebody is like, oh yeah, thanks, like I appreciate that, and if they apologize too or whatever, then it might be like a relationship in your life that you want to keep going, right? That you have a good relationship with that person. Or if you are being accountable for your own behavior and apologizing when you need to for things that you do that inadvertently hurt or disrespect others, and then they don't treat you badly, or they don't treat you well, or they treat you badly in response to that, you might just want to remove yourself from interacting with those people and distance yourself a bit from how intimate you are with them. Does this make sense as a different way of navigating conflict? Boundaries don't need to be these aggressive, crappy, bitchy things that we're setting with people. Boundaries can be soft, and they can be me creating distance with people who maybe aren't interacting with me in a way that's great. That's a boundary, right? And me just shifting and going in another direction is a boundary. Do you see what I'm saying? We don't need to move through life with a freaking sword in front of our face all the time to get through life and respect ourselves and other people, right? Okay, so let's get back to the feeling now that you have once you've kind of done that work of like looking at other interactions and what, you know, what's your part in it. Then you're going to come back to the feeling that's still in you, and hopefully it's a little smaller now, it's not so intense. And then we're just going to work with our own feelings, right? How am I feeling? You're going to ask yourself, like, how am I feeling? Oh, I feel sad, or whatever. What is it? You know, I feel kind of sad, or I feel a little bit hurt. I feel a little bit sad. Okay, like, what do I need right now? Yeah, like I need to go for a walk. I need to go for a drive. I need to call a friend and talk about what just happened. And not in a bitchy, venty, like, let's escalate it again way, right? Just in a like, Maybe I just need to connect with someone who cares about me, and just maybe I don't even need to talk about what just happened. Maybe I just want to feel cared for. So I'm going to call one of my female friends and just be like, hey, how's your day going today? And like, oh yeah, this is how's my day's going. Oh, and you know, like, how's your cat? And like, do you want to get together for tea on Saturday, or like brunch at that place we like, or do you want to do some shopping? Or like, yeah, that would feel nice. Okay, like I just connected with my friend for 5 or 10 minutes, and that met a need for me of just having like a human connection that was like mutually caring and affirming, that makes me feel a little better. Do you know what I'm saying? What do you need? Maybe I'd like to go take a journal and go to a cafe. And maybe I'd like to go listen to that podcast that cheers me up. Maybe I'd like to go have a nap, because I'm actually feeling kind of tired today. And part of the reason why that just happened earlier is because I'm really overtired and I've been working too much this week. And I really just need some time for myself, and I'm freaking exhausted. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, this is a very human way to handle emotions and conflicts that come up in our lives, that softens everything. Because after I take the nap, or I connect with a friend, or I go eat a meal, or I just go walk my dog, or I go hug my cat, or I put on a Netflix movie that lets me cry, like maybe I'm just wiped out and emotionally I'm weepy and I'm on my period, and I just need to go girly into it and cry, and just, that would really actually make me feel better, because maybe it's just pent up stress for the last 2 weeks inside me that just needs to come out of my body. Like I just need to release some cortisol. Like it really isn't about other people. Like I'm feeling really hypersensitive right now because I just have been too stressed, and like that one thing that person did just really hit me over the edge. Like it was like the straw that broke the camel's back. And like what I really need is to go take a warm shower and wrap myself in a blanket and put on Netflix and watch like some kind of Korean drama that just makes me cry. And after I cry for half an hour, oh my God, I'm just get all that stress out of my body. I'm going to feel so much better. And then maybe I don't even need to bring it up with that person later. This that I'm describing is the way to begin reparenting yourself and becoming your own best friend. After I've worked like this with whatever feeling I have had that's just come up, like a few hours of working with this in a way that I make myself better by loving on myself, by taking care of myself, by parenting myself, I'm gonna keep doing that kind of self-care until I feed my own emotional state back to a place where I feel happy and bouncy again. Maybe I gotta go to the park and play with my skateboard. Maybe I need to go get a bubble tea. Maybe I need to do some online shopping, just looking at things and putting them in my cart but not spending any money, just because it's fun and inspiring to look at clothes I might want for next season. Things that fill me up. Fill your cup, right? Fill up your cup. Fill up your cup. Fill up your cup. It's a lot easier to deal with other people if your cup is full, right? Like if you're a carer, like I'm a nanny, okay? So if you're a carer and you are taking care of children, if you're a mom, or if you are in a job where you take care of the public, or if you're in a relationship and, you know, you have like someone that you're sharing a house with, the practice, getting into the practice and training yourself to have a regular practice of filling your own cup gives you it cultivates good emotional energy in yourself so that you can then interact with others in a positive way, right? If I had to define codependency, you know, pop psychology loves to throw that word around like codependent. It sounds so toxic, right? but we're human. Like, we interact with each other a lot. We're social creatures. We depend on people or rely on people at different amounts according to their level of intimacy and commitment with us. So there is some kind of like interaction dynamic with different people in our society and in our lives, depending on how close our relationships are. Our level of relying on somebody is going to be higher when they're our spouse or our parent, or, our own caregiver. Maybe we're getting care from someone else, than it is on a stranger that just upset you at the bus stop, right? Like, there's different levels of relating to others. Across the board, our level of tolerance for the blunders and mistakes and offenses of other people, our ability to tolerate that and to give grace to them, it goes up when we are filling our own cup, like as a practice regularly. Our tendency to lose our temper and snap and flip out on people is when we're tired, we're hungry, we haven't taken care of our needs, our body needs something, you have to go to the bathroom, you've been working too many hours and not getting enough sleep, right? It's that kind of, our hormones are way off because we just gave birth, or, we're on our moon cycle, or we're going through perimenopause, right? Like, these kinds of things could be very, very basic physical needs that we're having that we need to take care of. Like, I need to go on iHerb and I need to order, bioidentical hormone cream from Wild Yam to be getting, the progesterone and the estrogen supplements that I need at this time in my life to be able to be a warmer human being during perimenopause. You know what I mean? I'm just giving examples that I can think of, right? I'm a Chinese medicine doctor too, right? So we might have just been outdoors in 36°C weather in East Asia, in rush hour, coming home from work, and we're sweating and we need to go take a shower in cool water and drink some water before we interact with any of our family members. Like, do you know what I'm saying? Can you see it? Our capacity to be warm, soft, gracious human beings increases with our self-care practices. Can you see it? And people will say, oh, I don't have time. I don't have time. Well, you better make time. Start making time. Find the time. Make the time for the small things. And as you get better and better at doing little tiny self-care things, you will get so hooked on it that you'll start finding the time and making time and saying no to some stuff so that you have more time to do more and more of this, because you're going to get hooked on it because it feels so good. And I'll tell you that when you have a lifestyle practice of filling your cup and caring for yourself, your relationships with other people changes. It elevates. They notice that you're taking good care of yourself. They might do something for you and you're so appreciative for this thing they just did for you, because you've been doing things for yourself and you've become this practice of caring for yourself and feeling good and feeling better and knowing how to make yourself feel better, and then feeling gratitude for yourself for all the things I did for me today that made me feel so much better. Your relationship with yourself becomes so loving. And then when someone else notices you're more radiant and they do something to add to your radiance because they're inspired to, and you're so appreciative of it, they're like, wow, I love giving to that person or doing things for that person because they're just so grateful when I do things and they receive it so well and they thank me and they smile at me, it makes me feel good. And then that person goes away feeling great after interacting with you. You begin sharing like better energy in the world and in your small environment. It starts to radiate outwards from you. And what did you start with? Noticing that you had an emotional feeling that felt bad, and learning how to take care of it, and how to take care of yourself, and how to love on yourself and love yourself through feeling something that was uncomfortable. And it's growing into, becoming a person who smiles more and is happier and has better energy, and other people around you start to notice and wanting to be around you more or offer you things, and suddenly you're getting offered new job offers or invitations to go out for dinner with a new friends group, or maybe getting asked out on a date by somebody who noticed you were smiling, right? Can you see it? These little tiny practices that you do alone in your little private solitude time grow into like flowers, like a garden that's blooming that starts to affect and change your environment around you. So, how do we start with the smallest things? How do you start doing self-care? Okay. I want to introduce you to a habit tracker. Okay, it doesn't have to look like mine. There's some really cool stuff on YouTube called bullet journaling. If you are a creative person and you like doing crafty stuff with colored pens and little, washi tape and stuff like that, you can get into making it very creative, but you don't need to. You can be very basic about it. You can just have, this is like grid paper, see it? From like the dollar store, okay? It's just like a dollar store notebook of grid paper. Sometimes I like to decorate mine with stickers that I buy myself. They're just fun and cool. And what you're gonna do is, this is super basic, okay? You're just gonna write the month and the days of the month in each box, right? So start at the end so you don't run out of space. So like 31 and go backwards, and then you'll write your month. And then you just start a list of things. And these are gonna be your habits, right? Now, they can be things that you want to do every day. They can be things that you want to keep track of and notice, like how many times this week did I do that? Or maybe you'll notice like, oh wow, I only do that thing a couple times a month and I'd like to do it more, so I'm going to put it on there. Now let me give you some examples of the kinds of things that I have on my habit tracker. I have my morning meditation. I have drinking warm water with lemon in it. I have some supplements that I take first thing in the morning. Then I have different kinds of exercise that I like to do, and I alternate throughout the week and choose different ones. So they're not always the same thing. So I have a bunch of them listed, okay? So it could be go to the gym, go for a walk in the park, bike ride, Pilates. I have some YouTube exercise channels with free exercises that I like to do. So there's like one for dance, there's one for yoga, whatever. So those are on there. So you can think of what kinds of things you'd want to put on there. And remember, they don't have to be things you do every single day. They could be things that you just like, I'd like to do something 3 times a week for exercise, but I don't know if I want to do the same thing all the time. That's fine. Just write down the things that you'd like to do more often. Okay. Now I have, did I eat breakfast? So breakfast is on there. Did I eat enough protein? I have protein on mine. Did I take my vitamins? I have nap, okay? I have sleep, and what that for me is, I check it off if I had a good night's sleep. So that way, if I start to go into some kind of a phase where I'm not sleeping well, I can see how long it's going on, and then I can do something about it if it's been going on for too long, okay? So if I look at my chart and I see I haven't been sleeping well, like I've been waking up during the night, I haven't been sleeping well for like 3 nights in a row, then I might be like, okay, I'm gonna make sure I take a nap today, this afternoon. I'm gonna find some time for a nap, or I'm gonna go get that melatonin supplement, or I'm gonna take something like GABA that will help my mind stop overthinking and calm down so I can sleep better before bed, something like this, right? It doesn't just help you keep track and remind you to do this stuff every day. It also helps you see when something kind of goes off the rails and you want to rein it back in, okay? So what else do I have on here? Water. Drinking water. Did I drink enough water? I have things on here that just inspire me and lift my mood. So I have podcasts. Okay, so I have a number of podcasts that I listen to. And some of them are like, I would listen to those particular podcasts if I was having more difficult emotion or something and I needed something that soothed and I felt like took care of my emotions if I'm not in a good time or a good day. And I have other podcasts that are fluffy and fun that would just make me laugh. Or some podcasts on finances, like if I want to learn, they could be something for women's finances and money, learning better skills for managing your money or whatever. Okay, different things that I can use at different times. So I have podcasts, and I have tracking if I was injured, had pain, a headache, or sick or something like that. I have that on there, so I'm going to check that off. And then different things like it was a hair oil or hair wash day, self-care, Korean face mask. Did I cook? Things that make me happy. Okay, what do you have things that you can do that make you happy even if you're feeling low? Like, it's going to be different for everybody. Like for me, if I go to the swimming pool and I spend a couple hours at the swimming pool, guaranteed I'm going to be happy. If I pick a recipe and cook something for dinner, guaranteed I'm going to be happy. Especially if I like put on Spotify and have a glass of red wine and like cook some recipe that I wanted to try. Now, that's not going to be the same for everybody, right? Somebody might hate cooking. It might make them feel like it's a chore, right? So it's got to be really unique and individual to you. The things that you put on here that make you happy, and you want to try to be aware of things that make you happy, not just things that you think you should do. Like going to the gym might not make you happy. Going to the gym might just be something you think you need to do 3 times a week for your health, which is fine. It should be on here for your like health self-care, right? But I wouldn't call that like something that's going to make you happy. You need to make sure you also have things on here that just like really make you smile, like things that light you up. Could be dance class. I have a lot of female friends who love to do like different kinds of dance. I've always really liked aerobic and Zumba and dancing, like K-pop, that kind of dancing classes, like aerobic dancing classes. But I have friends that go do things like some Latin dancing and stuff like that, you know, partner dance, whatever. So you could join a class or something like that and pick something that you like doing, like play with your dog at the lake. I don't know, whatever, right? Find some things and put them on here that make you happy. And then what you're going to do is you're just going to get in the practice of charting it every day. And that's going to encourage you and train you to do practices every day that fill your cup and take care of yourself, take care of your physical body, take care of your moods. And also like things that take care of your health and things like that you're working towards, and also things that make you happy, like for no reason, like silly fluffy stuff. Like I like to do these Korean sticker puzzles. I like to knit and crochet. I like to sew with my sewing machine. I like to look at like interior decorating design stuff on TikTok. I like to watch kitten videos on TikTok. I'm crazy about looking at kittens. Like I'm obsessed. I want a kitten so bad. You know, the thing is, the more you do this, the better you get at it. Okay, and of course I'm talking as a woman, so everything that I'm saying is kind of like my own examples, but you got to come up with your own. And I mean, I don't think my channel's for men, but it could happen that guys watch this too, so who knows? And maybe your things are different, like golf, taking the boat out on the lake, having a guy's night, inviting a friend over and playing video games for a couple hours, drinking beer with your buddy and barbecuing and just venting about work. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not a man, so I can't really speak to men's experience, but I'm sure you can come up with examples. And men need self-care time too. And just a reminder, if you are a woman in a relationship with a man, that you might be nagging on your man when he does self-care, so don't be doing that. Like if he's doing something that to you think like is wasting time, that he should be like doing stuff for you or hanging out with you, he might be doing self-care. So make sure you honor other people's self-care too. If you're living in a house with other people, like if somebody's like spacing out on mindless shows on TV, that might be their self-care, right? Or if they're playing video games, that might be their self-care. So make sure you respect other people's self-care too. And as you begin to cultivate your practice of doing your things and habit tracking and stuff, you're just going to have a better relationship with yourself and kind of know where you're at. And you're your own coach and your own best friend, working with your emotions, working with your physical health, working with your moods. You can also do a mood tracker. It's something that I did. Do I have an example that I can show you? I should. Hold on a second. I think I have that somewhere in here that I can show you. Anyways, if you look at bullet journaling, you're going to see some of these things like mood trackers. Yeah, here's an idea of a mood tracker. I don't know if you can see this. Just like here. It's a graph, right? So what you do is you do the days of the week, write down the days of the week, and then put like a smiley face at the top and like a sad face at the bottom. And then every day you kind of choose like somewhere along that spectrum, like where's your mood at? And you can also see how it fluctuates throughout the month. And then you can also correlate that with the habit tracker below that shows like, are you doing things that make you happy? Like, could you improve your moods by doing things to care for yourself and make you happy? Does it make sense? I hope it makes sense. I hope that's helpful for you. I hope that, I hope it's something you can take and use in your life. And if I think of anything else, I'll make another video, but I think that's a good start. So good luck playing with it and good luck with your self-care.